Welcome to the Pub Sports Radio MLB Closing Time Show, Monday, July 5th. Hope you have survived your holiday weekend. Didn't set yourself on fire with the fireworks or get too drunk that you're not around to join us today. But if you are, that means you made it through the holiday weekend, the July 4th festivities. And we're back and ready for a new week here on the MLB Closing Time Show. This is the final week of the regular season before the All-Star break, which is next week. So this is the home surge before, obviously, next week's All-Star festivities. Conor Mac, Skee Profit with me. As always, I'm Ian Cameron, ready for the Monday MLB card. Let's get to it. We've got an interesting slate. We'll start with the St. Louis Cardinals taking on the San Francisco Giants. Kwang Hyun Kim, the lefty for the Cardinals, and Kevin Gausman, the All-Star Kevin Gausman for the San Francisco Giants. I'll tell you what, I never thought I'd live to see the day Kevin Gausman's an all-star. But here we are. Congrats to him, though. He's deserving of it. What can you say? San Francisco minus 225, home favorites, 7.5 the total in this game. Gausman, as I just talked about, incredible numbers this year, a terrific season. 1.68 ERA for him coming into this start for the San Francisco Giants. Continues to just get the job done, be very, very solid for this team consistently, one start to the next. Kwang Hyun Kim for the Cardinals, 3.79 ERA himself coming into this start. The Cardinals, it had a tough weekend overall against the Colorado Rockies, who, again, we talk about them having a great home record. And Colorado was able to use that to their favor, taking 3 of 4 over the weekend from the St. Louis Cardinals. We'll see if they can keep San Francisco can keep it going here. They had a nice 5-2 victory last night over the Arizona Diamondbacks with another one of their resurgent pitchers, Anthony DeSclafani, once again pitching extremely well for them last night. Definitely San Francisco, the better team and better form. St. Louis, by the way, now they fall to a dreadful 2-11 in their last 13 road games. I mean, they have just been awful away from Busch Stadium. So, yeah, San Francisco's obviously not a bargain here, but it's hard for me to back St. Louis at this point in time. Probably not a game I'll get involved with. Keep in mind, too, these pitchers sometimes they've just been picked for the All-Star game. Sometimes you get a situation where they finally get that announcement, and then that first start, I don't know, maybe they're just not quite on top of their game or whatever the case may be, but they're just filled with such excitement and adrenaline that maybe can affect them in a negative way the next time they're on the mound. So you do have to keep your eye on that. This could be a night where maybe something's off with Gausman, maybe not, but something in the back of your mind just from a situational perspective that you think about. Connor, what do you think here? Cardinals, Giants.
Yeah, Kevin Gausman, minus 210. That's what you're getting right now, with the Giants with such a big lead. I mean, such a great record right now. Kim hasn't pitched more than 5 innings his last 3 starts. Obviously, the Cardinals, I think, have a little bit of value with him. Giants just played Arizona, probably flying home. I thought the wind's blowing out. I mean, at first I thought maybe you think under in this game. I see 17, 18 mile per hour winds to left center here in San Francisco. Maybe this could be a sneaky over 7.5 here. It's minus 110. The Cardinals got a hit, though. They kept losing 3-2 to the Rockies. They can't score more than a couple runs right now, the Cardinals. So that's tough as well. I also looked Giants team total, maybe there. I stayed off last night. I almost took their team total of 5.5. They got to 5 after 5 and didn't score, I think, anything after that. So it's a difficult one. If you want to keep riding Gausman, I took him a lot all year. First 5, half a run. You just got to pay the premium now for it.
Exactly. A little bit more of a price now. Skee, what do you think of this one?
I'm kind of conflicted because Giants' first 5s have been going over. I think like 11 of the last 14 or something like that I saw. But Kim, it looks like he's been pretty decent. Last 19.3 innings, he gave up, 7 runs. Gausman, he's been pretty good this year. Last 31 innings, gave up 10. And both bullpens are looking okay right now. So, I'm looking towards an under type game. I don't think Cardinals hit righties too well. And I don't think the Giants are going to hit Kim that good. So I lean towards an under type game if I'm playing.
All right, leaning towards the under. Speaking of unders, here's one that kind of stands out to me. LA Dodgers, Miami Marlins here. We've got the Dodgers minus 155 road favorites, a 7 the total in this one. Unfortunately, look, odds makers have made the adjustment. And look, 7 these days, summer weather, hot weather. A lot of these games, wind blows out, although it won't be an issue here in Miami. We're inside at Marlins Park, a place where we've been in the past, seeing that beautiful ballpark. And I still remember being there for that one game I was there for, and it was an offensive explosion. I don't know if we'll get that tonight between these two pitchers. I mean, Walker Buehler on the mound for the Dodgers. He continues to be rock solid, 2.35 ERA. Once in a while, the odd home run ball, but other than that, he's been terrific. And Trevor Rogers, equally good for the Miami Marlins, 2.14 ERA. The Dodgers are sometimes a little bit suspect hitting lefty pitching. That's the one sometimes little Achilles heel they have. So I would absolutely lean under full game, under first 5 innings as well. Unfortunately, you're getting squeezed a little bit. Not a whole lot of value, but that is the way I would go here in this game. And look, the Dodgers certainly looking to keep it rolling here in this one. And we'll see if that continues here. They've had a nice little run of late. Conor Mac, what do you think here? Dodgers, Nationals? Dodgers.
Yeah, this one's interesting here. I mean, Dodgers just keep winning. You know, swept the Nats yesterday. I kind of like Rogers here. I've liked him all year. It's been tough when taking these Marlins to scratch any runs across. Yeah, I lean a little bit. It's a 3.5, and you're getting minus 115 the first 5 under there. But yeah, the Dodgers struggle against lefties. There's not a whole lot of success. These Marlins, not a whole lot of bats against Buehler. 2 for 5, Alfaro, 1 for 4, Cooper, Panic. Tough one here. I don't blame anyone. Dodgers just keep rolling. How could you not maybe go against that? But Rogers has been phenomenal all year long. His ERA has been great. Maybe take a shot on the Marlins first 5 or go full game. The Marlins bullpen's been really, really good. But can they get hits off Buehler today? That's the question.
Yeah, absolutely. That is the question indeed. Skee, anything for you, Dodgers, Marlins?
Well, yeah, last time Buehler went up against the Marlins, they hit him pretty well. I think he went like 4 innings and gave up 5. So there's always that. But Buehler's been pretty good. His last 33, he's only given up 6. And I look at Rogers, he usually goes about 6 innings and hasn't given up. He gives up about like 1.5 runs per game. So this one looks like an under game for me as well. I would definitely prefer the Dodgers as a side. They've won 9 in a row, and I like to ride the streaks. I know Trevor Rogers is good, but Buehler's just as good. So I probably will play him on the first 5. Dodgers bullpen has been better, but I don't want to take them minus a run and a half when I think it's going to be an under type game. So prefer Dodgers first 5 minus half a run, and I like the full game under. I just want to give out these bullpen numbers. Dodgers last 5 days.
Yeah, give it.
They are 1.97. Last 10 days, 1.64. So that bullpen has been awesome. And for the Marlins, the last 10, 3.44. So thanks an under type game.
Yeah,
the
real
Marlins
quick.
bullpen has been excellent until yesterday when they had a rare, and I mean rare implosion.
Yeah, I just meant the Dodgers have been phenomenal, the bullpen, but I still know that bullpen, and it's still backed by Jansen and a few others that, man, they shake the shit out of me every time he touches the bump there in the 9th inning. And yeah, we see Price, who's been really, really good out of the bullpen. He might have to start now with Trevor Bauer, the whole thing going on with him. So we'll see with that Dodger bullpen. I think they have a few weeks bad coming after being so good for probably the last 3 weeks or so.
Yeah, we'll see if that continues. You know what? Bullpens are cyclical, guys. I mean, even the bad bullpens are going to find like a 1-2 week stretch where they pitch better. It's going to happen, at some point. And they have been better, no question, the last few weeks. We'll see if that can keep going, though, because like I said, bullpens, they come and go. They go through swatches all season long. Good swatches, bad swatches, good runs, bad runs, essentially. And right now they're in a good run. This Dodgers pen. Atlanta, Pittsburgh, next game. Max Fried and Chase DeYoung, the pitching matchup here. Atlanta minus 190 road favorites, 9 the total in this game. So Max Fried goes from walking off the Marlins in extra innings with a base hit, a pinch hit base hit for Max Fried of all people. Yeah, walking off the Marlins. Good hit, too. That guy, pretty good hit. You'd think he's a everyday hitter. With the way he stroked that yesterday. So a comeback win against Miami in that game yesterday, and now he's on the mound today pitching for this Atlanta Braves team. And Atlanta's starting to get it rolling a bit. This team's been a massive disappointment, but they've gotten themselves almost back to 500. And you look at the quotes from Atlanta, it says, if we can just get ourselves to 500 and above by the All-Star break, gives us a puncher's chance to make a run in the second half. And I would say if you haven't completely given up on the Braves yet this season, now's the time to bet them, maybe, in terms of playoff futures, if you believe they can get there, because I think they can go on a run, and they're starting to maybe show signs of that. The bullpen's been a little bit better lately. The lineup is starting to hit again. They've scored 8, 4, and 20. Of course, the 20-run outburst against the Mets, 3 of their last 5 games, they've gotten their offense going. Max Fried's been rock solid on the mound for the Atlanta Braves. The only bad start he's had in his last 9 outings was against Washington, who always seemed to hit him. Other than that, he's given up 2 runs or less in 7 of his last 9 starts. So he has been rock solid and consistent for the Atlanta Braves. Just terrific. And Pittsburgh, on the other hand, you look at them, not really hitting the ball against lefties, not good. Last 10, 213, average 2.4 runs per game against lefties. That's not very good either. On the flip side, it's Chase DeYoung on the mound for the Pirates, and it's been a struggle for him his last 2 starts. The Pirates 0-4 in his last 4 starts. He's given up 4 runs on 7 hits against the White Sox, and then followed that up with 5 runs allowed on 9 hits in 5 innings against Colorado. What's also concerning right now for DeYoung is the home run balls that he's allowing. He's given up 6 home runs in his last 5 starts. Not very good for Chase DeYoung. And in terms of the weather tonight in Pittsburgh, slight wind blowing out to left field, 95 degrees. It's going to be hot, muggy, sticky, hot, balmy conditions tonight at PNC Park. So I think Atlanta can win this game. I would lean run line with them, which is currently, you can get that at -115 on the run line. Better yet, I'm going to go with the team total here, 5.5. I think that's worth a look here in this game. They're starting to hit. Chase DeYoung struggled. 5.5 team total on Atlanta is probably the way I would bet this one here. What do you think here, Conor Mac, with the Braves and the Pirates?
Yeah, Fried gave up a few runs his last start, then settled down. DeYoung, he's been really bad. Yeah, and the long ball's been his thing. I'm with you. The Braves are super priced, though, here. The run line, -115. I know it's on the road if you want to get that down or go first 5 here. And you mentioned the team total. I'd bite on that. The Braves have bit my ass all year, and it's a 5.5 at plus money. I'm sure you could find a 4.5, probably -145 or something like that, a 4.5. If you want to go that route. But that'd be the way I'd look. I'm going to stay away from this one, though.
All right. Skee, anything for you here, Atlanta, Pittsburgh?
Yeah, for the most part, I agree with what you're saying, except for I can't get with the team total just because I know they scored, I think, 8 runs in their last game. But outside of that, I mean, I'm looking at them, they averaged
killed me all year, Skee.
Yeah, 4.7 on the season. And the last 3 games, even with that 8 runs yesterday, average 3.67. So I don't think I want to look towards a 5.5, but I can look towards the first 5 in a run line. You kind of talked about Max Fried's numbers, 24 innings, only giving up 7 runs. Chase DeYoung, I think he's a fade. I mean, his last 9.7, he gave up 9. And I look at the last time Fried faced Pittsburgh, he went 7 innings, only gave up 1 run. So I want to look also, sorry, I got a little echo. I want to look also at just how they've been hitting lately and hitting each other. I mean, both of you guys kind of touched on it, but Pirates lately, last 10 days, batting 194. And if you just look at the last 10, you can look at the last 5 for the Braves, 293. And on the year versus the Pirates, they've had 4 games, 321. So they hit them. The starting pitcher is a lot better. I trust them first 5, and I trust them run line for the Braves.
All right, we got the Chicago White Sox, Minnesota Twins next game on the slate here. It's Dylan Cease, Bailey Ober on the mound. White Sox -110, slight road favorites here in Minnesota. 9.5 is where the total opened. Now been bet up to 10 here in this game. And look, the White Sox, like I cashed my best bet on the show yesterday, White Sox Tigers over 9.5. Thanks to a 3-run homer in the 9th inning from Jose Abreu to make that 6-5. We'll take it. But good to see that one get home. White Sox are an over or nothing team for me right now, at least from a totals perspective. When I see these teams, they start to trend over the total to this degree, 7 straight overs now for the White Sox. Like I say, I either ride the streak or I leave it alone. They've found ways to score runs and put runs on the board. Even yesterday, there was no Moncada in the lineup. There was no Yasmani Grandal in the lineup. Adam Engel's been out. They've been without, of course, Luis Robert all season. Nick Madrigal's been out. Eloy Jimenez. They haven't had so many of their hitters, and yet they've still found ways to put runs on the board, the White Sox. That should continue here against Ober. Ober's not good. 5.84 ERA, 6.94 in his last 3 starts, 6.75 at Target Field this year, 4 runs, 6. He just faced the White Sox a few days ago, June 30th. They racked him. 5 runs, 3.1 innings, 3 bombs against Bailey Ober in that start. So he was absolutely disastrous against that Chicago White Sox lineup. And then you look at those numbers, obviously a lot of them good against Ober. Home runs for Vaughn, Grandal, Abreu. Certainly Abreu hit one yesterday. Abreu home run prop, probably a good way to go tonight. One of my Jack of the Day candidates, certainly Jose Abreu in tonight's game. You look at the wind conditions. We got a wind blowing out a little bit to right field in this game. And it's 7 miles per hour, and it's 95 degrees at first pitch. Another setting where it's going to be muggy. So you can understand why the total's gone up. Cease has been pretty solid for the most part here, but on the road, not so much. 5.4 last 3 starts, 6.08 earned run average for Dylan Cease on the road. So he's really struggled away from home this season. And you look at the 2 games that the White Sox, or that he pitched against the Twins this year. He actually pitched okay. Both of those games did go over the total, largely because the White Sox did so much of the scoring. But the Twins still got to 3 runs in one of those games, 2 in the other. And look, I do like the way this Minnesota offense has played of late. 8-8-6-3-5-4-3-6. I mean, this offense has started to hit. We know that they're a capable lineup when they get it going. You got guys in there like Donaldson and Cruz and Polanco and Kepler, Luis Arias at the top of the lineup, in the leadoff spot. It's a decent lineup when they're going, and they are starting to hit a little bit better of late. So total's been bet up. I agree. White Sox are a team to ride over the total, just like I did yesterday. I'm back on it today. Connor, what do you think here? White Sox Twins.
Yeah, this is my lean. Thank God for that 3-run homer yesterday in that game. I lean over here as well. The Twins have been hitting, like you mentioned, lately. The White Sox just saw Ober, who had pitched well, but his last 2 starts against the Reds and these White Sox, he got hit. And I don't think he goes more. He went 4 1/3, and he went 1 1/3, gave up 4 runs, 5 runs his last 2 starts. I see more of the same. I don't think he's that good here. And Cease, I've liked a lot better at home. You mentioned it, 7-3, solid all year, 3.75 ERA. But yeah, I lean over. You talked about the team total. The White Sox is 5.5. The Twins is 4.5, -115. But I just lean full game here with both these teams hitting right now.
All right, and both bullpens a little like the White Sox bullpen. People thought it was going to be good coming into the season. It's not that good. It's not been anywhere close to what they thought. So their bullpen suspect. We know the Twins bullpen usually is as well. So that's why the full game over definitely to me would be preferable than the first 5. Skee, what do you think here? White Sox Twins.
Can you help me with that number on the total in this game?
10 across the board
10?
right now.
Okay. Twins, I mean, I hear you guys say Twins have been hitting. They haven't been hitting enough for me, because if you can't get your team total versus the Royals, I'm like not sold. You get what I'm saying? So they got 6 runs their last game, but the previous couple games, I wasn't liking what I was seeing. So I'm not that high on their offense. I mean, I know the White Sox bullpen's been bad, but like I said, they couldn't hit versus the Royals bullpen for 3 games. I don't trust them versus the White Sox bullpen either. Twins bullpen, equally as bad. I'll look at their last 10 days, 6.45 ERA. And I would trust the White Sox to hit a little bit more. So the White Sox team total, even though it's 5.5 at plus money, I would take a look. They faced the Twins 9 times this year, batting .317, comparison to the Twins, who are .232 versus the White Sox. And just the starting pitchers, Ober, like you said, he's not good. He's given up 9 runs his last 7.6 innings. And if you look at when he's played the White Sox the last 2 times, 7.3 innings, he's given up 9 runs. So they hit him too. They definitely can hit the bullpen. I probably would like White Sox first 5, White Sox -1.5, or White Sox team total. I like them all.
All right,
Yeah.
a White Sox
Twins
trifecta.
have,
I've done those a few times. Yeah.
just the Twins have hit Cease kind of hard here. Cruz, Polanco, Kepler, Donaldson, all of home runs. Some guys like Cruz, 6 for 11
Yep.
with the jack.
Yep.
So a lot of both sides have hit well against these pitchers.
Yeah, you mentioned the 3 in particular: Cruz, Polanco, Max Kepler. No doubt, big damage against Dylan Cease in the past. And look, when you look at these 2 teams, their bullpen 5 and 6 ERA for the bullpens, 5.6 ERA last 10 for the White Sox, 6.1 ERA last 10 for the Twins. Righties, they're averaging 7.76 runs per game. The White Sox against righty pitchers the last 10, and even the Twins almost 5 runs per game against righty pitching the last 10 games. So you combine, do basic math here: 7 plus 5, 12, which means I've got this game projected to be around 12 runs, which is why even at 10, I thought we could get over this total. So that's what I'm thinking here: over 10 White Sox. Twins, Brewers, and Mets. We've got Brandon Woodruff, Tyler McGill on the mound here. Milwaukee in this one around -130. Road favorites, 7.5 the total, shaded to the under here in this game. Brewers, how about them? They finally lost a game yesterday against the Pittsburgh Pirates, cooling them off, snapping that 12-game win streak that they had, one of the hottest teams, hottest lineups in baseball, and they got cooled off a little bit yesterday against the Pittsburgh Pirates. We'll see if they can rebound today against the Mets. This is a tough one. Probably not a game I'm going to bet, because I don't like backing teams the first game after a big win streak gets snapped, and I feel that way about all sports: hockey, football, basketball, baseball. When a team has that long win streak and they get snapped, that losing streak that winning streak comes to an end. Usually, sometimes I worry that could be a couple of losses, not just one. The problem is you've got Tyler McGill for the New York Mets. He's not exactly someone I'm rushing to bet. 4.82 ERA this season. He's made 2 starts, hasn't pitched deep, 4.1 innings, 5 innings, given up 5 runs and 9.1 innings total, 2 starts against Atlanta. You're going to see a lot of Mets bullpen, and sometimes a lot of Mets bullpen isn't a good thing, especially the middle relief, which can sometimes be a problem area for them. But on the flip side, Woodruff, as much as I've liked Woodruff, he's had some cracks in the armor in his last few starts, although he has been better the last couple. The Cubs and the Arizona Diamondbacks, he got back on the beam, and the Brewers are still 6-1 in his last 7 starts. I would lean Milwaukee. I certainly favor Woodruff over McGill here. And look, you're getting the best of the price. This has been, I think the betting markets might be seeing something I am here, where Milwaukee is the win streak. They finally lose yesterday to Pittsburgh, and we want to fade them again today. But still, this is a drastic price drop, -180 to -130. I did my capping on this game earlier, and the price was still around -160 for Milwaukee. And now I'm seeing it where it is right now, and I'm like thinking, wow, what a drop this has been in the price. And it's getting to the point now where I'm going to have to give Milwaukee some thought. And certainly at this price, it's the only way I would go. But I am concerned about, again, backing a team that just had their long win streak snapped. That does bother me sometimes. But at this price, I could only look at the Milwaukee Brewers side here in this game. And I get it. They've got Colton Wong out of the lineup, Vogelbach, Travis Shaw, Lorenzo Cain still out. And I know that, there's a couple of bats out of the lineup due to injury. But, boy, this is a huge drop in the price here, and a lot of money on the Mets for a guy that just hasn't shown me a lot in Tyler McGill on the mound. So I don't like the spot for Milwaukee, but at this price, I do think there is some value on this Milwaukee team. Don't know if I get there, but I lean Brewers. Connor, what do you think here, Brewers, Mets?
Yeah, to answer Big Show's question, yeah, we won't know. You got to check 2 hours about before game time. You'll know the lineup if Cruz and Donaldson, all those guys are playing. So always wait till then to know if they're in. Yeah, I lean Brewers here with Woodruff. You could look at his K prop maybe as well. Yeah, it seems like a cheap price. But yeah, it's difficult here. The Sticks did nothing yesterday, and that was probably the least game I shouldn't have played, was that Brewers Pirates game. I lean towards the under as well with Woodruff. Of course, him on the mound, I think under. But McGill, what are you going to get out of McGill? I don't trust him at all. The Mets have been hitting a bit better lately. Wind's blowing out 10 miles to the left. It's just a lean to the under, and Woodruff here in the Brewers.
Yeah, and to think about it, there's not the greatest spot for the Mets either. They played a doubleheader with the Yankees yesterday. They used probably a lot of their I know they used a lot of their bullpen in those 2 games yesterday, and 2 games played yesterday. Now you're back at it today with no day off. So there are some elements that point to this not being the greatest of scheduling and situational spots for the Metropolitans here either. Skee, what do you think, Brewers Mets?
Yeah, I mean, as you guys probably know, I'm still recovering from yesterday. So remind me, who played the 2 games yesterday? It's the Mets?
Yeah, it was the Subway
Mets,
Series, Yankees, Mets. Yeah.
Okay, I usually avoid those games anyway, so that's probably why I wasn't looking at it. But okay, you know what I think in this game is I do trust Woodruff. I haven't seen McGill enough to really have a solid opinion on him. I look at Woodruff, 13 innings, giving up 2 runs. His last time versus the Mets, he went 5, gave up 1. And the bullpen for the Brewers has been pretty legit. Over the last 10 days, 2.47 ERA. And the Mets, they're the opposite. I mean, the last 5, they have an ERA close to 8. So regardless how McGill is, and I don't think he's great or anything, as soon as he comes out, I think there's runs to be had for the Brewers. So I think their team total is cheap at 3.5. And I know they didn't score yesterday, but outside of that, I feel like they've been pretty consistent. So that's probably the way that I would look in this game. If I'm not taking that, I'll be taking Brewers on the money line.
All right, Brewers money line, but liking the team total, which is 3.5 minus 145, liking that over more than anything here for Skee. In this game, Cleveland and Tampa Bay, we've got Logan Allen taking on Rich Hill, Dick Mountain on the mound here for the Rays. Tampa Bay minus 200 in this one here, total 8.5, pretty much across the board. We've talked about Rich Hill a couple of times now. We're concerned about the trajectory for him as of late. It's not going in the right direction. It's the timing of it is very, very suspect because, it's been when this whole crackdown on the sticky stuff and spider tack has started to happen. And all of a sudden, Rich Hill has not quite been as good as he was before that. So you worry about that a little bit coming into this start today. Rich Hill, his last few starts, he's given up 4 runs in 3 of his last 4 starts, 4 runs against the Orioles, 4 runs against the Mariners. He did pitch better against Boston, but then gave up 4 runs, 8 hits, 6 innings against Washington, 3 home runs as well in his last start. So problem stuff for Rich Hill as of late in terms of the way he's trending. Cleveland on the other side in terms of against lefties, 221 for the season, 4.29 runs per game. Last 10 games, 245 batting average, 3.71 runs per game. Can we trust Cleveland's bats? That's the question here because they've lost 5 in a row, scored 3, 2, 3, 2, 1. Not very good at all during this 5-game losing streak, this offense, but Rich Hill is hittable at the moment. On the flip side, Rays snapped their bad 5-game skid. They beat Toronto 5-1 yesterday. And very much needed win for them. It snaps, I think, a double-digit road losing streak as well for the Rays. Now back home at Tropicana Field, and now they get to face Logan Allen on the mound here for the Cleveland Indians. He made a spot start, first one in a while. Last time out against Detroit a few days ago. Not good at all. Not good at all. 3 runs, 3 hits, 3.2 innings, 2 walks, 1 home run. Cleveland loses that game by a score of 7-1. So I don't trust Cleveland. I don't want the dog here. Tampa or pass, but I'm not laying 200 or taking Rich Hill in his current form. I'm veering toward the over. I am 8.5. You're talking about, a Cleveland team should hit Rich Hill. I think Tampa Bay will absolutely get to Logan Allen, who I don't think is all that great. But there's something holding me back because Cleveland's not hitting well right now. So I lean over 8.5, but I'm lukewarm on it. What do you think, Conor Mac here? Cleveland Indians, Tampa Bay Rays.
That's where I'm looking. Allen has looked horrible. I mean, this guy's gone 2 1/3, 1 1/3, 2 1/3, 4, 6, and 2. And he gave up 2 in 3 2/3. That was his best outing, his last against the Tigers, and he was yanked. I don't think he goes more than that here. And I've seen a couple of his starts. He does not look well. Rich Hill pitched a little better his last start, but a huge favorite here. I'm with you. When I saw this, I leaned towards the over. I saw 8 yesterday. Last night I didn't pull it. It's 8.5. I still lean that way, especially with Allen on the mound. I lean over.
You know what? The best way to go might be Tampa's team total over 4.5. I'm starting to think that might be safer, just in case Cleveland doesn't do much against Hill, which could be the case. I mean, the Hill is definitely susceptible right now, but Cleveland's lineup not in good form. What I like about Tampa in that win yesterday, a couple of the guys struggling came through for them. Brandon Lau had a nice hit. Wander Franco had the big stud prospect hit a home run. Rosarena had Austin Meadows, Yandy Diaz. A lot of these guys in the lineup that have been scuffling during this bad run for the Rays, they broke out yesterday and got a big hit. So usually that's what you need. You need a win. You need a couple of these guys to get a big hit in a big spot. They did that in the win against the Blue Jays yesterday. And sometimes that's what you need when you're going through a tough time in a rough patch. And maybe you can, roll that momentum-wise into the next game here tonight. Skee, what do you think here, Cleveland, Tampa Bay?
Yeah, I kind of got distracted over here. It's like a bad lineup at BetMGM. But, in general, before I forget, I do agree with your look on the team total probably if I am looking to play this game. But does this make sense at all? The Rays are like a minus 200 something favorite, right? All right, so The first five, they have the money line minus 220, but they have plus a half a point minus 145. That's a mistake. So I think I'm just going to take that because I prefer the Rays side anyway. Like they're giving me a half run minus 145 when the money line is minus 220. That's a definite mistake. So I'll take that. And if I have to play it otherwise, I would look probably Logan Allen, his last 8.9 innings, he's given up 18 runs. I know the Indians bullpen has been a little bit better than the Rays as of late. So if you're a guy who has first 5 team totals, I probably would prefer that over for the Rays, or Rays team total probably the way I would look. I don't really trust them to win by a run and a half, and it's even scary to trust them on the team total because neither team has really been hitting. But gotta fade Logan Allen in some way, shape, or form.
I agree with that. I mean, I think the Rays can crack Allen. It's what can Cleveland do against Dick Mountain? Can they climb Dick Mountain and rise to the top? That's the question. Detroit and Texas. Fast Willie Peralta and Colby Allard here in this one. Detroit, Texas. Texas minus 160 in that range. Total 9 across the board here in this one. This is just an impossible game. There's no way in a million years I'm laying that price with the Texas Rangers and a team that is sitting right now with a 33-51 record. And it's still a below 500 record at home as well. They've been better at home than on the road, but that's not saying a whole lot. This price is insane to me if you're going to lay this with Texas here. All that being said, am I in a hurry to back Detroit here and Willie Peralta? No, not really. 3.21 ERA for him coming into this start. He was actually decent last time out against Cleveland. 1 run, 3 hits, 5 innings, but still, I'm not so sure that's going to be a sign of things to come. Before that, he got rocked by the Angels, 5 runs, 7 hits, 5 innings. So which one is it going to be? Is it going to be Willie Peralta, who was a little bit better against Cleveland last time? Or is it going to be Willie Peralta, who got roughed up by the Angels? That's the big question here. Colby Allard on the mound for the Texas Rangers. He's been, I guess, decent's the word. He's had 6 starts and he's given up 3 runs or less in 5 of those last 6 starts. It's actually been pretty solid, giving them a chance to win at least during that time. Last 10 games. One thing for the Tigers here is they are hitting lefties in the shorter term. You look at them, 294 average, 9 runs per game against lefties the last 10 games for Detroit. Texas, on the other hand, you look at them against righties, just 215 and 3.1 runs per game. So there are things that point to Detroit here in this game, but I am not on board with my man Willie Peralta. Not in the least until I see consistency one start to the next. It was one good one bad one for a guy that's been more bad than good in his career. It's not really something I'm interested in. So it's a pass for me, but at this price, it would be Detroit or nothing. Begrudgingly, it would be Peralta or nothing for me here. Conor Mac, what do you think? Detroit, Texas.
Yeah, it'd be Peralta or nothing here. Just the value that the Tigers, they've been playing a bit better lately, and there's just no way. Allard pitched well. He gave up those 3 runs quick to the A's his last start, and then he settled in and went 7 innings, gave up nothing after that. And I've seen him pitch. He's pitched well, but then they can't hit the Rangers, and to be almost minus 160, I can't do it. Yeah, if I were to lean here, I'd be on the Tigers' first 5 here at plus 140. You got to back Big Willie, though. His name, Willie Peralta, who in his career has gotten rocked, lost a few games for me.
Yeah, there's no doubt. That's the problem. Willie Peralta backing him. 22 strikeouts in the last 5 starts for Allard, and that's the one thing that concerns me. Detroit can strike out sometimes, so that worries me a little in this matchup. Skee, what do you think here? Detroit, Texas. It is an ugly game.
Yeah, I don't really have a strong opinion. I don't trust either starting pitcher here, and I just don't want to talk about anything. I do trust the Rangers bullpen better than lately, so I'll just pass.
Next up, we've got the Philadelphia Phillies and the Chicago Cubs. We've got in this matchup Matt Moore for the Phillies, Zach Davies for the Cubs. Cubs minus 145, minus 150 in some spots. Home favorites here. The total all the way up now to 11, shaded to the over, which means one thing when you see total like this at Wrigley Field, we're talking about wind blowing out, and that's exactly the case tonight. 14 miles per hour, wind blowing out. So that definitely would be over or pass for me. It's just a question of can I get there at 11. Definitely Matt Moore. Whenever I see his name on the mound, I'm interested in an over. There's no question about that. He made a start just looks like about 10 days ago, and actually didn't pitch that badly in it. 3-hit shutout against the Mets. But overall, his numbers, we'll have to wait and see, because this is fascinating with Moore. And I looked at this. He'd been dreadful this season, downright awful. April 5th, 11th, and 17th, his 3 starts were pathetic in those games. He gave up 13 runs over 11 innings. So he gave up more runs than innings pitched over his first 3 starts. But that was back in April. He returns to the rotation June 25th for that start against the Mets, and he actually pitched a lot better. So what Matt Moore is it? Is this now going to be a different Matt Moore coming into this game against the Cubs? Maybe because he had that one good start now since he's been back in the rotation. So something to monitor. Is that stale data? All those rough outings he had in April? Or was that just an anomaly, that good start he had 10 days ago against the Mets? What's it going to be here for Matt Moore? Against the Cubs, he hasn't faced them in a few years. We know technically the Cubs are supposed to be a decent lineup against lefties, but they haven't been a good lineup against anything as of late, this Cubs team. They just haven't been a good team, period, as of late, the Chicago Cubs. 9 straight losses for them. And look at the offense. Other than they scored 7 in like 1 inning against that Ashby kid, and it's really the only inning this offense has done anything in 9 games. I'm serious. I'm being serious here. This lineup has literally has had 1 inning where they've scored a big number, 7 runs in that first inning against Milwaukee. Other than that, here's what they've done: 2, 2, 1, 4, 4. Their high water mark 4, 1, 1, 2, 2 during this 9-game losing streak. The lineup is in the tank right now for the Chicago Cubs at this point in time. Zach Davies, he's been better lately. There's no question. Much better. He's had 3 starts in his last 6, 3 in his last 5, rather, where he's shut out the opponent, shut out the Dodgers, shut out the Padres, shut out the Cardinals. He had a terrible outing against Miami. He gave up 8 runs that day, but it seems like an anomaly because other than that, he's been terrific in his last 5 starts. He only gave up 2 runs in his last start against the Brewers, although walks have been an issue with Zach Davies. He has had at least 2 walks now in 8 straight starts. That does bother me here a little bit. You can't be walking that many guys and get away with it here. Are the Phillies good enough to take advantage of maybe a guy that's struggling with command and control a little bit? Becomes the great question. The Phillies lineup over the weekend, they did take 2 out of 3 from the Padres, but their lineup is still mostly scoring 1, 2, 3, 4 runs, seems to be the most they score on a regular basis. So that's why I lean over with the win conditions, but I don't trust either lineup. These aren't lineups that I can trust right now to get me. I need at least 6 runs or at least 5 runs from both of these teams to guarantee a push in the worst case scenario if I'm going to bet over 11 in this game. And I don't think I can do that right now with these 2 lineups, even though these pitchers have some question marks. So it's probably a game I'm going to end up staying off. At this price, I could only endorse the Phillies, but if I'm going to do that, it means taking Matt Moore, and I got to see way more than just 1 decent outing from Matt Moore. So it's a really, really tough game for me, but it would be Phillies or nothing. What do you think, Conor Mac?
Yeah, it is kind of tough. The Cubs are just pathetic on the road. I mean, this team, I think they're dying to get home. They're such way better baseball team. And on the road, they just can't win.
Yep.
And that road trip was pathetic. And the at-bats were pathetic. I think this is kind of a spot. The only thing is that they're, minus 138 right around there. I don't trust Moore. I don't trust Davies. When I think of Davies, I think of the 8 runs, the Marlins, rather than shutting out the Dodgers in his last few starts. So I lean Cubs coming back home, and I lean the over here. Both lineups who haven't hit, like you mentioned, have hit these pitchers well. McCutcheon's 5 for 14 with a jack, Harper 3 for 11. There's a bunch of them, and then the Cubs hit more. Jock Peterson 3 for 9 with a homer. My big guy jack of the day, Anthony Rizzo, 6 for 8 with 2 homers. And there's a few. Javi Baez 2 for 8 with a homer. So yeah, I lean Cubs and lean over with that wind blowing dead to center. Over 15 miles an hour it looks like. So yeah, Cubs and over here a little bit.
Yeah, and you said it. The best thing to bet maybe in this game might be some home run props, because you're right, that the wind is going to propel some of these baseballs right out of this yard here at Wrigley today. And there are guys that have hit, both of these guys for home runs: Segura, Odubel Herrera, and Andrew McCutcheon against Davies. And you mentioned the big ones: Rizzo, Baez, Peterson against Matt Moore. They have all done a very good job hitting home runs against Matt Moore. So this could be a good game for home run props for sure, with that wind blowing out. That might be the best way to bet. And thank you for the dono. Don't ask, don't tell. We appreciate that. Thanks for watching. Absolutely, we appreciate that. And everyone tuning in on this Monday. We will do the 7th inning stretch shortly before we get to the late night games, as we always like to do. Acknowledge the viewers in the chat joining us here for the MLB Closing Time Show. Skee, what do you think here, Phillies and Cubs?
Yeah, it's hard for me. I mean, I get the wind blowing out, but I don't think either team has really been hitting great lately. Davies, I think his last 10 innings pitched, he's only given up 2 runs. And Matt Moore, I mean, he's going to have to make me a believer. That's all I'm going to say. So I also look at the Phillies on the road. They're 15-26 versus the Cubs at home, 26-13. I mean, yeah, they've lost 9 games in a row, but it hasn't been a secret. They're not good on the road. They played 10 games in a row on the road. So they get back to the house now. I think they'll be a little bit better. Neither bullpen here is trustworthy. So as the game goes on, I'll probably look to live bet maybe like a Cubs team total when if Matt Moore comes out and looks decent, like when he comes out the game, I would definitely attack the Phillies bullpen. But I'll play the Cubs. Cubs are the way I'm looking in this game.
All right, Cubs in this one for Skee Profit. Just a little home cooking. And by the way, the COVID-19 pandemic may be over. The road game pandemic in Major League Baseball is still ongoing at this point in time. This is insane. These are two more teams of many in Major League Baseball who are just crushing at home and absolutely brutal on the road. Phillies good at home, brutal on the road. Cubs good at home, brutal on the road. Rockies good at home, brutal on the road. I mean, you go on Orioles, decent at home, brutal on the road. Arizona, again, okay, I wouldn't say great at home, but at least they win a couple at home, and absolutely terrible on the road. I mean, Texas, decent at home, brutal on the road. It goes on. Seattle, not very good on the road, good at home. I mean, this is insane. It's like nobody can man up, find a way to get focused, get well prepared for a game, and well prepared to play on the road and put your best foot forward at this point. It's absolutely insane just how much of a discrepancy across the board, team to team, with the home record versus the home road record, and it's continuing. Reds and Royals next up. We've got Vladimir Gutierrez, Mike Minor, the pitching matchup here. Even money pretty much both sides in this one, total 10 across the board. Vlad Gutierrez has definitely sort of regressed a little bit last few starts, definitely not liking the way he's trending at the moment for the Reds. He's a young guy, and obviously he's going to go through some growing pains. He's kind of doing that as of late. He had a couple of good starts early, but not good lately. He's trended in the wrong direction. He had 4 really good starts, May into June, but the last 3 starts, 5 runs against the Padres, 3 against Atlanta, 6 against the Padres again in his last start. So it's been a little bit of rough sledding here for Vladimir Gutierrez. Mike Minor on the flip side for the Kansas City Royals, comes into this start not pitching well either. 9 runs, 11 hits against Texas, 5 runs, 7 hits allowed against Boston in his last start. That's a troubling situation for him coming into this start. The good news, though, for him is that the Reds against lefty pitching as of late, not hitting a lick. And that's the one thing that's keeping me off maybe this game over, and also Cincinnati. I do lean Cincinnati, but 216 average against lefties, 1.4 runs per game. That bothers me a little bit. In fact, the last 10, Kansas City's got better numbers, better batting average, better runs per game against righties than the Reds do against lefties. And this number is kind of telling. Like, Cincinnati's definitely better than Kansas City. And yet Kansas City's the slight home favorite here. Something's telling me that maybe this is not the spot here to take Cincy. So I leaned to Cincinnati initially, but I ended up staying off at total 10. Not with the way the Reds are hitting at the moment. They're just in a little bit of a funk, particularly against lefty pitching. Minor's definitely hittable. That's why I hate games like this. It really do. It gets under my skin when I handicap a game and I see this. Like, Minor is a fade right now. He's terrible. He's been brutal his last 2 games. But the Reds are just not hitting lefty pitching a lick right now in the last 10. So that's where the trouble comes in with trying to wrap your head around this game. So I'll probably end up passing. What do you think, Conor Mac, Reds, Royals?
Yeah, the Reds found a way, to win at home. Another thing against lefties, the big thing is they're not a great team on the road, especially hitting. They hit a lot better at home than they do on the road. I just can't back Minor here as a minus 120 favorite with the Royals. They've swung it a little bit better lately, but no way. It'd be the Reds or pass. I'd take them with the plus money here. At first, I glanced at the Reds team total at 4.5. It's like minus 120, but I'd rather take them to just win here at plus 110.
Yeah, maybe if you have those second half lines, second half bets. Of course, tomorrow, Peter Loshak joins Jimmy the Bag every Tuesday on his show. He has bet second half lines in baseball before. There's a big bullpen edge for Cincinnati here coming into this game. Last 10, they've got a 1.1 ERA, and of course, Kansas City's bullpen's been shite, for the better part of the season, especially the last couple months and especially the last few weeks. So maybe if this game's close late, live in game, Cincinnati, or second half, not so much. You could just, fourth or fifth inning, step in and bet Cincinnati because the bullpen is an edge to them. Skee, what do you think here? Cincy, Kansas City.
Yeah, if you're just looking at bullpen numbers, like over the last 10 days, Cincinnati 3.13, Royals 7.05. So I agree with you. Longer the game goes on, probably more of an advantage for the Reds. But even still, to start the game, both starting pitchers haven't been good. Gutierrez, his last 15 and a third, he's given up 14 runs. Mike Minor's last 10 innings, he's given up 14. So I would just look for runs in this game, whether it's first 5. Probably would just do first 5 just because the Reds bullpen has been decent lately. Or Reds team total is kind of scary. So, yeah, probably first 5 over would be my best look, but I'm not sure if I'm going to bet it.
All right. Very interesting to see how this goes here. Next up, we've got Boston Red Sox, LA Angels, Martin Perez. And it looks like a spot start here out of the bullpen for Jose Suarez here for the LA Angels. We've got Boston here slightly favored on the road, minus 115. Road favorites, 10 the total in this game. LA Angels coming back to walk off the Orioles yesterday. And it's also what cashed the over in that game, 6-5. Victory over the Orioles in yesterday's game. 4 straight wins now for the Angels, and look out, 6-1 in their last 7 games. So Angels picking it up. They're now above 500. And what's impressive about the Angels is they've done this year without Mike Trout. Their lineup has been scorching as of late. Again, without Mike Trout, that is impressive. A lot of times, I was one of them. Accused this team of being too reliant on Mike Trout, but they're stepping up. The supporting cast right now for this Angels lineup, at this point in time, which is good to see. When you look at this game, right now, it's interesting. You've got 2 teams that have been able to hit lefties pretty good. Boston's got a decent average, a lot of runs per game against lefties. The Angels certainly have hit well against lefties in the short term as well going into this game. We'll see if that continues here. Martin Perez, what I think for him is he's a hittable lefty for this Red Sox team. He actually, though, has been worse at Fenway. He's been actually much better on the road. 2.1 ERA coming into this start. We'll see how he goes here. But last start against Kansas City was good for him. 2 runs, 7 hits, 5.1 innings. So we'll give Martinez credit. He has pitched well as of late for the Boston Red Sox. Earlier this season, he shut out the Angels in 6 innings in Boston. The Red Sox won that game 9-0 back in May. So we'll see if he can pitch well here. Suarez, again, spot start out of the bullpen. He's been really good in the bullpen for the Angels. We talk about this Angels bullpen's had issues this year. Suarez hasn't
He's been a bright spot. Yeah.
1.9
he's
ERA.
definitely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been great. 2.45 ERA at home this year. Out of the bullpen. We'll see if he can keep it going here today in a spot starting role, though that's a different situation now here for Suarez. But, hey, I like what I've seen from him out of the bullpen. He's pitched well. We'll see if he can carry it over here to him making this start tonight for the LA Angels. I'm back and forth on this one because Perez is in good form. He's been good on the road. But the Angels have seen him a lot because he pitched in Texas for years. And there are still some numbers here against Martin Perez for the likes of David Fletcher in particular, Ward, Gosselin. A couple of these guys have really hit him good. Fletcher has a home run against him. So Boston having to travel as well out to this game, after the playing on the weekend. So you worry about that a little bit here. I don't know. And the Ohtani magic is gripping this Angels team with everything Ohtani's doing right now. I really feel there's that sense of, wow, we're really running on adrenaline. We're running on some positive momentum. We're feeling good. It's fun to come to the ballpark every day. I'm getting that sense from the Angels right now. And Boston just had a really, really intense series, 3 games decided by 1 run in Oakland over the weekend. I could see them falling a little flat here. I don't trust Perez. I'm talking myself into the Angels, bottom line, in this one. At least first 5 and full game split here in this game. And I got to think at some point, sorry to our friend Jose Bouquet, who's going to join us tomorrow, Boston's not going to stay 20 games above 500, for the rest of the season, all right? They're just not. Okay, there's going to be some leveling off. There's going to be some regret
pitching. Yeah.
At some point. It's going to happen. And there's going to be some money to be made, serious money to be made, fading the Boston Red Sox, I believe, post All-Star break. You can trace that to this show 2 months from now if I'm proven to be right, that if we fade the Red Sox, after the All-Star break, not saying every game, but you pick your spots, you're going to pick up some units, you're going to pick up some profit going against this team because I think they're going to regret. They have to regret. They can't keep up this clip, I think, for the entire season. No way. Injuries could happen. Pitching's not going to be something that's going to keep up like this. I think even the lineup might level off a bit. So I'll be picking my spots. I'll say that right now, post All-Star break to fade Boston, and I might pick a spot to fade them tonight. I lean Angels first 5 full game here. Conor Mac, what do you think here? Red Sox Angels.
Yeah, this might be the spot, like you said, after the tough series with the A's. I can't back Perez here at around -150. Every time I watch him, I'm like, this guy's so hittable. It's crazy. Suarez, like you talked about, he's been that lone bright spot out of the bullpen. And he pitched well on the 28th against the Yankees. He went 5 1/3. I don't know if he's going to go that far tonight. We'll see how good he pitches. I lean over, but it's at a 10. This might be an in-game over. Maybe if there's not many runs in the first few innings. So this one I'll probably play in-game, but I'm off here.
All right, Skee Profit. What do you like here, Boston, LA Angels?
Yeah, if you like the Angels, I probably would just stick to the first 5. Just because, they've won. They're 9-1-2 their last 10 first 5s, I think, at the house. So, it's tough for me. I think that's the way I look for pregame. But as the game goes on, if it gets to the 5th inning and it's tied up, I'm going to look to live bet the Red Sox because their bullpen has been great as of late. Comparison to the Angels, I think the Angels ERA last 10 is north of 6, and the Red Sox last 5 is under 2. Last 10 is probably like 2.3 or something like that. So if I'm playing it before the game, it'll be Angels first 5. But I'm probably just going to live bet this one and look first spot with Boston.
Yeah, Skee, real quick. And they're, these Angels, they beat up on a lot of shitty teams. Can they beat the Red Sox here? Can they take 2 out of 3 at home here? I don't know. Maybe the series is 4, but
strength of schedule.
Yeah, seems like they beat up on the Orioles, some of these better teams, but can they take care of business here at home? We'll see.
Yeah, they beat up the Yankees, but Yankees stink right now. Yankees are Yankees in name only, not in reputation.
Yeah, they came back that one game.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. All right. Before we get to our last game, 7th inning stretch time. Time to do some stretching, as they always say at the ball game after the top of the 7th. Say hello to everyone in the chat. Talk Sports with JT, not applicable. DC, Don Pot, Luke Murphy, R, Ricky Levine, Robert Cherry, JW, Abel Alvarez, Wyatt Chapman, Vitalis, DC, Ronnie Ryland, Billy Pilgrim, Billy Brisbane. Good to see you. Anthony Velez, Sterling Gentry. We appreciate it. DC, of course, don't ask, don't tail for the donation. Thank you a million times over. William Torres, Aaron Williams, Dave McKenna. We appreciate that. Olu Puzzler, Anthony Imbronio. Excellent turnout here on a Monday in the chat. Brian Watson, Cash Action Bets. King, I am new here. Well, welcome. We always love to see and hear that. New people, new faces, new viewers, new listeners here on Pub Sports Radio. So welcome in, King. That's good to see. Hope you come back. Christian Larson, Nigel Lee, Truth, everybody in the chat. I think we got through everybody just about. Yeah. Looks like it. It looks like it. Yes, indeed. Thanks to everyone in the chat for joining us. We appreciate it. With that said, our final game, Washington Nationals, San Diego Padres, John Lester, Joe Musgrove, your pitching matchup here. We don't have a starter yet for Washington. Does not look like it. It was initially going to be Lester. Now they're not so sure. So we're not going to spend a lot on this game. Musgrove for the Padres, minus 215 is what he was going to be in terms of home favorite had Lester been starting, but the line's coming down, 8 the total. I'll say this. I'll talk situationally here about this game for Washington. They just played the Dodgers over the weekend. They got swept. They didn't exactly play great ball. They're below 500 on the road. One thing I know about San Diego is I'm reluctant to fade them at Petco. Their record at Petco Park's been insane. Another team, Padres, good on at home, not so good on the road. One game below 500 on the road, 30-15 at home. They're back home off a pretty lengthy road trip, six games it was through Cincy and Philly. Now they're back home. First game of the road trip. I don't love that spot, but they're 30-15 at home. I don't know who's going to be in there for Washington starting pitching wise. And Joe Musgrove for the Padres on the mound for them has been pretty damn good most of the season for San Diego. 2.63 ERA overall. His last start was not his best start. 5 runs, 4 hits, 4 innings against the Reds. But pretty much other than that, he's been good. The numbers bear that out for the most part. So he probably can bounce back here a little bit against the Nationals. And you look at the numbers here as well for Musgrove in terms of win-loss record at home. It's been pretty good for him. So we'll see if he can keep that up here tonight. Probably a San Diego win, but the spot and the price are probably going to tell me, you know what, I'm not going to get involved with it. Connor, any thoughts here, Nationals, Padres?
Yeah, I'm probably not going to get involved either. But you talked about it. I'd probably look to the Padres here. Musgrove's been really good, especially at home. And we'll see what the Nats are going to do. Schwarber went out of the lineup. And that lineup kind of cooled off against the Dodgers. They got swept. And now they're bounced out on the road here in San Diego. I think this is a spot for them. Machado went crazy yesterday, 11 runs. I think Padres here, maybe an under, but I don't know who's pitching on the other side, whether it be Lester or not.
Yeah, bad issues too. I mean, they're already without a couple starters. Betty and Strasburg, 5 bullpen pitchers injured. Schwarber's out indefinitely in the lineup. Trey Turner now has hurt himself. So you could be talking about no Turner, no Schwarber tonight. And now all of a sudden that's a huge loss in that lineup. I know you've still got Josh Bell, you've still got Juan Soto. I understand all of that, but still that would be tough to not have Turner or Schwarber tonight in that lineup for the Nationals. Not only tonight, but may not have them moving forward either. Skee, any thoughts here, Washington, San Diego?
Yeah, I'm going to have to pass just because my whole look for this game was to fade Lester, and he said he's not going to be out there. So I have to do a little bit more work on this game.
Yeah, definitely. That's I was looking at that too. And, San Diego, and look, they at least salvaged the last game of that road trip beating Philly. It was a rough road trip for them. They were on the verge of going 0-6 on that, or not 0-6, actually. They had done pretty well against Cincy, but struggled in the first 2 games. We're going to get swept by Philly. But they avoided the sweep with the win yesterday. against the Phillies. So a little positive momentum, and they've been good at home all year. And you're right, Skee. I was looking forward maybe to going against Lester here too, but it doesn't look like we are going to see him starting in this game anymore for Washington. Great stuff, Connor and Skee. Thanks to everyone in the chat for tuning in. We'll get to best bets. We'll get to Jack of the Day in just a second. But first, messages from Manscaped and Southtown 101. All right, Southtown 101. When you're in San Antonio, stop in. I have a bite to eat, some pints, and live music DJs karaoke there as well. Southtown 101 in San Antonio. Manscaped, promo code Pub Sports, new and improved Lawnmower 4.0. You can get 20% off your purchase of that and any other Manscaped product using the promo code Pub Sports. And mybookie.ag, promo code Pub Sports. NHL, NBA playoffs winding down. This could be the last NHL game of the season tonight in the Stanley Cup final. NBA finals begin on Tuesday night, tomorrow night. MLB daily football season right around the corner. Still a good time to sign up for mybookie.ag. Use the promo code PubSports. Bitcoin accepted currency for your deposit. So check out mybookie.ag, promo code PubSports. A reminder, NBA Pub Hub, our next show will be tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Game 1, NBA Finals, Milwaukee Bucks in the desert taking on the Phoenix Suns. I think it's going to be a really interesting, fascinating series. So hopefully it delivers on the court. We will tee up the series overall, and we'll tee up Game 1 tomorrow night. We're on the hunt, too, maybe for an extra special guest or two to join us on the show tomorrow, make it an even bigger Pub Hub, if you will, on the show tomorrow. So excited about that. So join us tomorrow for the next NBA Pub Hub. We'll get you ready for the NBA Finals. But right now it's time to get you ready for some good betting opportunities on today's baseball card. And we're going to start, as we always do, with the Jack of the Day.
Well, see you later.
Good choice out there today. A couple that stand out. When I look at it, there's a couple of those Cubs against Matt Moore that makes sense. Rizzo, Baez, Peterson. I would go with all three of those. Now, I know the Cubs aren't hitting, but it's a windy night out to center field at Wrigley Field. A guy that gives up home runs, I could see that. There's a couple Twins you can look at. Donaldson definitely interests me the way he's hitting right now. Kepler, Polanco, Cruz, all against Dylan Cease. Good ones to look at there. I would say go right back to the well with Ohtani tonight for the Angels against Martin Perez. Why not? Because he's just basically good to almost hit a home run every game right now for the Angels. So those are some of the ones I'm looking at for Jack of the Day. Conor Mac, Jack of the Day.
Yeah, Cruz and Rizzo for sure. Looking at Jose Ramirez, he's 4 for 7 with a jack off Rich Hill. I was looking at Andrew McCutchen, 5 for 14 with a homer, and Castellanos is 3 for 8 with a homer as well. I got looking at Jack of the Day.
All right. Excellent stuff, Nigel. Thank you for the kind words. Great show, guys. Always love the content and effort you guys do. That's why we put in the effort, because we know it's appreciated. We know we get people enjoying it, and we hope it helps you out and helps you get in the win column in any sport that we're doing here on this channel. Skee, I know you're not big into the home run props, so what do you like here for best bet?
Man, I like a lot of stuff. I'm over here trying to narrow down, and if I have to pick a best bet right now, I'm probably going to go with I'll go with the Braves. I'll go with the Braves on the run line.
Braves are online.
All right, Braves on the run line. So Atlanta to get the job done, -1.5. You can find that right now pretty much in the -115 range against Pittsburgh. That is best bet for a Skee Profit. Conor Mac, best bet.
Yeah, I was looking at a few too, and the Cubs have just lost 9 in a row. I think they get right today here at home, but at -135, I don't want it as my best bet. I'm going to go Marlins, Dodgers. I'm going to go under 7 full game. The first 5's 3.5. It's -115. Give me the whole game. I know the Marlins bullpen wasn't good last night, but their bullpen's been excellent. And the Dodgers, give me Buehler, Rogers. Dodgers struggle against lefties. Under 7 at even money here.
All right, there you go. Under 7, Dodgers, Marlins, best bet for Conor Mac. My best bet's going to be, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It was a best bet for me with riding this team over the total yesterday. White Sox, Tigers. We're doing it again tonight with the White Sox and Twins over 10. That will be my best bet. As much as Cease has been decent at times, not so much on the road with a 6 ERA away from Chicago. And Bailey Ober, he just got ripped a few days ago by this White Sox lineup. I think that happens again. You've got 2 bullpens that are scuffling a little as well at the moment. So runs early, runs late, White Sox Twins over 10 for my best bet for this Monday card. That'll wrap up this edition of the MLB Closing Time Show for Monday, July 5th. Thanks to everyone for joining us. We will be back tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, with the MLB Closing Time Show. Jose Bouquet will join Connor and I as our special guest. And then we'll have the NBA Pub Hub tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern. Connor, Skee, myself, Dutch, and special guests to be determined on the show tomorrow for Game 1 of the NBA Finals. We'll get you ready for Suns Bucks. Looking forward to that. For Conor Mac and Skee Profit, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Monday. Enjoy the games and good luck. And we will talk to you again tomorrow right here on Pub Sports Radio.